Okay. So today we're going to do some work on who we are without X or Y or Z or or Joe or Jane. Our identities get so tied up in the small things and the big things, in our children, in our careers, in our relationship, in the last thing that someone says to us. We get so caught up unintentionally. It's just what the ego will automatically do. And the ego is not bad, in my opinion. We don't want to get rid of our egos. We just want our egos to surrender a little bit, to relax, to know that we're safe and we're okay, that all of the belief systems we were set up with aren't necessary to play out. And so the concept here is not to be a wispy bag that blows in the wind, because I believe that having some level of spiritual identity, spiritual ego is important. It's how we have our individuation, our I, self. We need to know who we are. We need to know what we desire. We need to speak our truth. All of that also comes from the will chakra. So in no way during this work today am I suggesting to not have will or to not have beliefs or to not have a sense of I. That is absolutely critical, in my opinion, on this path. Now, if you go to a Buddhist or a yogic ashram, that might be different. But in terms of the householder path, we need to know what we desire and what our truths are in order to express that to our spouse, so we're not getting, angry or resentful. But at the same time, when what we do or what roles we play become the focus of what drives us and who we are, then things start to get distorted. Meaning, and I'll tell you what I'm working on these days, like my children, how hard they work, whether they take care of themselves, right? That becomes a part of what my projection is of who I am. So I constantly have to watch myself getting all caught up in their lives. And then I have to release them and let them go and know who I am without any of that. And I don't mean know in my head, I mean know in my body. Who am I if my daughter decides to just quit college? Who am I if my spouse acts in a certain way? Who am I if my business falls apart tomorrow and I'm not helping other people? And so the definition of who am I is not about an analysis. It's more about, can I be okay with myself? Can I love myself? Can I still find enjoyment in life if I don't have that thing or that person or that role or that career or that doing? That is what I'm looking to feel okay. Because anytime we externalize our happiness, we're going to be unhappy, just at the fear of that going away. So if you will, for the purpose of this meditation, sorry, my computer is dying. If you will now, just go into your body, come into your breath, and allow yourself to identify where you're getting caught up. Where your identity has gotten confused with what you do or what your kid does or how someone treats you. And once you have that subject matter, as you close your eyes and come into your breath, just notice what it feels like in your body, the positive side, the part of you that is imagining your kid's going to become a doctor or your career is going to save the world. Just feel what it is to feel good at the projection of that external reality. This is an attachment. This is an attachment to the outer world making me feel good. So if you will notice, just notice how that career or that achievement is an externally derived happiness or safety or worthiness. And as you breathe deeper into your body, if you will, and it can go even an attachment to curing the cancer in my body. I'll feel good when this happens. I feel okay if I achieve this. There you go. So whatever attachment to the health, when I'm healthy, when my autoimmune goes away, then I'll be happy. As you breathe into your body, into the attachment of that desired state, feel into my saying that's never going to happen. So just feel into the opposite. You're not going to heal. Your kid's not going to achieve. You'll never get that career. Just feel what it feels like in your body to feel like that's never going to happen. You won't ever get that. In our work and in our alignment, we call this taking the lollipop away. So just feel that, if you will. It's never going to happen. You might have a fight response to that. Like, I'll make it happen. You might have a despair or hopelessness. Just notice what happens in your body when I say that's never going to happen. It's not possible. Your career won't be purposeful. Your spouse will never change. Your health will stay the same. And this is the vibration we're going to be working with. So if you will now isolate that vibration in your body, just feel where that lives. Notice the sensation, the pressure, the movement, the temperature of that loss. Notice I'm not saying let it go or surrender it. I'm just having you sit with the loss of never, ever getting that thing. Staying with yourself as you feel deeply into the body without the story from the mind. Just feel what it feels like in your body to not ever get it. Stay with yourself here as you feel into it. Try not to speed up the process with trying to make yourself feel better. Or sitting in that feeling. Try to name the feeling. Hopeless, depressed, unworthy. And feel the sensation of that. We'll just call it sadness for now. Feel your version of that sadness. And feel the sensation of the loss of the dream, or the goal, or the person. And as you stay with the sensation and feel the sadness, just ask yourself, what's the worst part? What's the worst thing? And let your mind give you some thoughts, irrational thoughts like, my life is a waste, or I'm going to die, or I'm going to be alone forever. Just feel in your body the sadness, the sensation, and the thoughts without doing anything about them. Just be with them. And as you're with them, let that thing happen. Your death, you're alone, your life as a waste, whatever it is, worthlessness. And as you feel into that worst thing, try to stay steady and inward. As you feel the worst thing, as you stay with yourself, right in the sensation, just go deeper into letting go, letting that thing happen, and seeing if you can stay with yourself. Stay with yourself. That feeling to move or do something is often a distraction from feeling. Just allow yourself to feel what it feels like as you go into the worst part of letting go of that attachment. And as you let go, see if you can feel what life is without that thing happening. Give yourself some space as you release the person or the job or the health status. Just allow yourself the now what. Just notice what it feels like as you move on beyond that need, that attachment. Notice what it feels like in your body to now step away, to move on with your life without that attachment. Just give yourself a moment to feel what it is, what life looks like and feels like as you surrender. Stay with your breath as you fully let go and pivot to life now without that. Just feeling what it feels like to be okay without it. Start to adjust. Who am I without this? As you expand yourself, as you pivot away from the attachment, who am I? If this to never change, begin to lean into that space, that curiosity. And as you step forward into life without that attachment, just notice what it feels like. Notice what you do now without it. And feel into what that feels like in your body. Begin to feel the breath deeper in your body as you allow yourself to explore and cobble together life without that thing you were so attached to. Begin to feel into who you are now without it. Who am I? Who am I without my identity being tied up? Who am I without the greatness or the vibrant health? As you go deeper into this question, just allow the simplicity of the answer. Who am I? Feel your body starting to let go, if you will. Let go of the grasp. And feel the simplicity and the peace. Who am I? Allowing your soul to answer that question now. Who am I? I am. I am. I am that I am. Lean into that space, if you will. The simplicity and the peace of the I am. Just I am. Staying with your breath. Notice how we're not using the violet flame or the white light. We're just sitting in that I am presence, in the sacred presence that you are, that I am. And as you take a deep breath, just allow that presence to move deeper and deeper into your cells. Deeper breaths, pulling that sacred I am presence into your cells. As you continue to ask the question, who am I? Who am I without that? Staying with your breath, using the question, who am I, as your mantra. Who am I? Who am I? Letting your divine consciousness fill in, respond here to you. Who am I? As you feel your breath like a wave coming in and out of your body. Who am I? You can choose to stay with this mantra, who am I, as you breathe the wave of presence in and out of your body. Allowing yourself to feel the peace and the wisdom that reverberates through you as you continue with the question throughout the day. Who am I? And so I'll let you drift off in this meditation, holding it as long as you'd like. I could stay here for another half hour. And for those who are finished with the meditation, you can just seal up your field with a violet flame. Anchored it in by saying, and so it is, and so I am. And so it is, and so I am. Amen.